Good morning, everyone. So this is Certified Information System Security Professional, CISSP as we call it. And this is the mentoring session on that. In this, we are going to cover all and everything related to CISSP. And there is an ongoing training as well, which I am already doing. And there is an upcoming training as well from the next week. So if you guys are interested, you can join me out there. So guys, first and foremost, the intended audience. This session is for those who are aspiring for CISSP certification, and those are very much welcome in this session. Then those who are not so keen on certification, because the end objective of a certification is not always the certification. Many people, they join to sharpen up their knowledge, to understand the entire domain, and at a later point of time they then go for the certification. So those people also are very much in with us for this session. Then there are few people who actually, I see people reaching out to me. I am working in infrastructure and I want to switch over to security. Then what certifications should I go for? And like the understanding about security, bringing in the security mindset. So those people also are very much welcome in today's session. So that is the intended audience. Just a little bit about me, guys. My name is Manoj Sharma. I am CISSP certified back in 2016. Then I have done some other certifications as well, like CSAM, which is actually related to security management. Then CCSP, it's related to cloud security. CRISC is purely based for risk professionals. CEH, as you all know, it is for ethical hacking. ISMS, ISO 27001, because nowadays many companies they go for ISO 27001. Then PCI DSS, it is one certification for those organizations which are handling credit card information from the customers or partners. So they need to get certified from PCI DSS. Then COBIT 2019. Many companies, they go for COBIT. They go for COBIT framework. It is a framework meant for IT management in a company, and that entirely takes care of security as well. So security is inbuilt into this framework. Then there is a very good certification which is called a DCPP, which is hosted by DSCI India. This is purely related for privacy professionals. So I got certified in there as well. Then I have some privacy practitioner and GDPR certification as well with me. And on the academic side, I have done MCA, I have done MSc, I have done MBA, all related to IT. As a background, I come from a defense background. So I have served in Indian Air Force for 20 years. And after my retirement in 2017, I joined Accenture as a corporate security professional out there. I have overall 18 plus years of experience. I do have a website that is cybernose.com. And then you can also connect me over WhatsApp as well. This is my number, which is given here. And you can also connect me over LinkedIn. So you can just scan this barcode and then you can connect with me. Okay. So that's a little bit related to my profile. So when it comes to certifications, you are really in very safe hands, because I have very good understanding of security and all related things. Guys, we will do one thing. All the questions, whatever we have, we are going to keep it reserved for the end of the session, right? And then we can take on more like intro and other things as well. Okay. So guys, let's try to understand security as an industry, right? So a secured approach to protect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of asset is what we call it as security. So end of the day, whatever efforts we are putting in, whatever investment is going to be put in security, it is all meant to protect your assets. Now these assets can be tangible, that means you can touch and feel. These assets can also be intangible, which you cannot touch and feel, like a software license or something like that, right? So we try to protect these assets from three different perspectives. That is confidentiality, that means somebody should not be able to read your information, to have access to your information, who is actually not authorized to have access to that. So that is confidentiality. Then comes integrity, somebody unintended personal who is unauthorized should not be able to modify your data. And then finally, all your assets, all your information, all your data, all your asset should be available when actually it is required. So these are basically the three pillars of information security. We call it as CIA triad. And end of the day, this is what we are going to protect, right? Now every company has a different business objective, they have different missions, they have different goals. So these CIA is not one kind of fixed proportion which every company can acquire or can implement. This CIA, it get changes. The requirement of confidentiality, integrity, and availability, it changes based on the risk profile of the company, based on the kind of business they are into. So that is how the CIA proportion is changes. And it may not be there that all the company may have the same similar kind of security controls out there. Some company may have some different controls, other company may not need those controls. Why at all it is done? It is all done to meet their own requirements, right? And that is where we go to different frameworks, we choose some controls out of that, and then we implement in our company. So just this is what we are trying to do when we implement a security program in a company. This is what actually we are doing, right? Now this CIA, obviously we need to protect CIA, and the proportion may get changes, may get changed for different organization, but there are some considerations as well, there are some restrictions as well. So let us discuss about those restrictions. First and foremost, business requirement. Every company may have their own business requirement based on their own comfort level, based on their own missions and goals. The proportion of the CIA get changes, and that is how different controls comes in there. Next is emerging risk. Now, if there is no risk, there is no need to implement security at all. If there is no risk, right? Why company will spend money in terms of technology, in terms of people, in terms of processes? Why at all? So the main thing is having a very keen view on what the risks are there for an enterprise, and how we are going to protect those risks, how we are going to mitigate those risks, is what the prime focus for every company. And understanding those risks from these different perspectives, that is confidentiality, integrity, and availability, really gives you a very good picture of that, right? Then oftentimes company, especially startup companies, they do not have enough funds. uh, there is always a constraint of funds, and whatever the fund which is allocated in the start of the year, if we are going to spend that unwisely, like just share them equally into different domains, is not going to help. So we need to understand where we need to invest more and where we need to invest less. So that also is very important aspect when it comes to security. Next is, guys, privacy. So privacy is, I would say, people call it as CIA. I would say CIAP, because privacy is such an important aspect in the industry today. Most of your even CISSP questions also may be based on privacy, because there are some new laws which has come in, like GDPR and those kind of laws, and they are really very strict. If any personal data about an employee is goes to a wrong hands, it is getting any kind of breach happens, then the company may have to pay very heavy fines to the legal authorities. So that is also why we need to take care of privacy. And there are some privacy frameworks also which are already there in the market. We implement that in a horizontal way when it comes to security. So that also is one thing. Then laws and regulations. There are different laws and different regulations. There are local laws, there are global laws. Some companies, or sorry, some countries, they have different kind of laws. They consider something as offensive. Other countries may not consider those things as offensive. So there may be different in laws, and even sometimes, guys, there is contradiction in laws. So that is where, as security professional, we need to be very, very careful, right? And then comes trust and assurance. So trust and assurance is what is the basics of your business, right? People say security is always a cost center. Some people think that way, but it's not actually true. Security, if it is implemented in the right way, it gives you a lot of trust. It gives a lot of trust to your clients, to your customers. You will get new customer, you will get more business out of it, and then you will also be assured. Once you implement the right security in the right way, then you will also be very much assured of your own security program, right? So this is the entire context, guys. And there is emerging technologies, right? Now blockchain is coming, IoT is coming. Now cloud computing has changed the entire scenario in the last decade, right? So the things has changed very fast in the last 1 decade. So these are some considerations which we need to take care of, and based on these considerations only, we need to set up a security program in a company, right? Now, to set it up, guys, company need people. They can have the best of technology, they can have the best of you can say processes in place, but if there are no skilled guys in the industry, then they are not going to achieve these objectives. And that is where, guys, CISSP really plays a big role. Once you get trained for CISSP, once you get certified for CISSP, you yourself will realize the amount of knowledge which you have gained. Your entire thought process will change because of going through CISSP. Is such a beautiful thing, right? So going on those lines, guys, let me give you some idea about CISSP. So we keep in saying always CISSP. This is actually is Certified Information System Security Professional. It's a vendor neutral security certification. When we say it's a vendor neutral, means we are not going to discuss about Microsoft. We are not going to discuss about Linux or like any other platform like Cisco or Fortinet. We are not going to go and discuss their products here or their technologies here. The core of CISSP is concepts. End of the day, it is all concepts and the process in place. For example, if there is incident management program, what are the different steps out there? Why one step is actually done before the other step? So those kind of thing is what the gist of CISSP. Guys, CISSP is not to understand your depth of knowledge. No, because once you are CISSP certified, you will be working as a manager, you will be working as an advisor, you will be working as a consultant for the company. They really don't expect that you should be knowing each and everything about different tools what are there in the market. So end of the day, you are the guy who understands security concepts well. You are in a better position to take better decisions, and then those decisions should be in favor of the business. They should support business, they should not restrict business. That is the entire focus of CISSP, right? And the organization who is bringing in this certification for us is the International Information System Security Certification Consortium. Very big name. So we call it as ISC Square, right? So ISC Square is an international non-profit membership association which is founded in 1989, and they have their headquarters in Florida, USA, right? They are really responsible for maintaining the common body of knowledge. Why we call it as common body of knowledge? Because once you go through CISSP, then you will have a common vocabulary when it comes to security. You understand things better, you understand those terms, you understand those concepts. So all people who are CISSP certified or like in security, they are on the same page. So that is why CBK is such an important thing. So they maintain it, and they maintain this certification in the best of the way. I must tell you, there are some certifications in the industry wherein there is always a back door. You can go from there and acquire that certificate, right? And that is why the value of those certifications are not that high in the industry. Now everybody in security understands, if a person has done CISSP, then he has not done it, he has earned it. Because CISSP is not something you just do, you earn it. You have to apply your effort in there, right? So that is why it brings in so much of value. ISC members are required to commit to fully support their code of ethics. So ISC Square has some ethics as well, which need to be adhered by all the people who are having CISSP credentials. If somebody is not following those credentials and that thing is brought forward to ISC Square panel, dispute panel, then they may even cancel your certification as well. Okay, so these are few things about understanding the total environment. ISC Square also hosts some very good other certifications like SSCP, CAP, CSSLP, CCSP, and CISSP obviously. And once you are done with your CISSP, you can go with some further concentrations into architecture, into engineering, management. So it's not just one certification, it's an entire plethora of certifications which ISC Square has, right? But one thing I must say, guys, CISSP certification is a certifications. Once you do it, then all other certifications are kind of cakewalk for you all the time, because you understand the basics of why a particular thing is there. So once you understand why part of it, it is really very easy to go and clear other certifications as well. Okay, now why only CISSP? Like I am not a person who always says that you should only go for CISSP, but when it comes to CISSP, we should have a banner. Why should we go for CISSP? So CISSP is the first credential in information security which was awarded with ANSI and ISO certification, that is ISO 27024. So this was the first certification. Also, this is US Department of Defense directive. As per the directive 8570, CISSP is considered as the authorized certification from their side. What does it mean? It means that if you are CISSP certified, it is really very easy for you to get a government job in US and even countries like Canada and all, right? So that's really a nice thing about it. Then what else we can, what benefits we drive out of CISSP? So first and foremost thing, guys, certification is a separate thing. Before even certification, the knowledge you acquire is really immense. It's really immense. It will change the way you really think about security. So that is why it is so important. Then once you are CISSP certified, you have that certificate with you, you have that credential with you, then it enhances your credibility. Your leadership will start looking at you from a different perspective. They will really think, yes, this is the guy we actually need. And even when in some cases I have seen, when some client approach to a business for some kind of outsourcing or something like that, then they are asking how many CISSP certified guys you actually have. So that is a big plus for the company as well if you are CISSP certified. Then once you are certified with CISSP, then you become a member of ISC Square. Once you become the member of ISC Square, they give you the entire plethora of learning out there. They have their own very good videos. They come out with some very good material on security, which you can refer all the time. And once you refer those, you're also gaining your continuous professional education points as well, which I will be discussing in another slide, right? Obviously, career prospects are high. Otherwise, if that would not have been there, you guys would not have been there in this particular meeting, right? So that is why the prospects are very high. And CISSP certified people are actually paid more than their peers because of this certification, right? And obviously, ISC Square gives some very good discounts to people who are ISC Square members. So these are the kind of benefits you derive from CISSP certification. Now, let's come on to the gist of the thing here. Earning your CISSP credential. How can you earn your CISSP, right? So there are two ways. At present, you may be sometimes more than 5 years of experience in security, and few of them may not be having 5 years of experience in security. Both of you guys can go for CISSP certification, first thing, right? Second thing, if you are having experience more than 5 years, you are able to prove that you have worked in any two domains of security, then you can directly go for CISSP certification, right? You will be given a certificate. If in case you are not having the 5 years of experience, then you will be designated at the associate of ISC Square, which also brings a lot of value. It does not mean something to dishearten or something like that. It really adds up a lot of value to your resume, right? So let's explore these things more in detail in the upcoming slide. So let's talk about CISSP designation first. That is, the person should be having more than 5 years of cumulative paid full-time work experience. That means it's cumulative. If you have in 1 year, you have 1 year of experience, then you took 6 months of break, then again you enrolled into some company and you have some experience. So all that will be cumulated. If after cumulation it is 5 years, then very well you are eligible for this certification, right? All your experience has to be paid, full-time works experience in any of the 2 of the 8 domains. Now, what are these 8 domains and why they are asking for 2 domains? So on the right hand side, guys, once you are able to see this screen, this picture here, there are 8 domains of security. That is security and risk management, asset security, security architecture and engineering, communication and network security, identity and access management, security assessment and testing, security operations, and finally, software development security. These are the 8 domains of security, out of which if you have worked in any 2 domains, then also you are very much eligible. Now, when we say working in 2 domains does not mean that you should be part of all the different teams in that particular domain. If you are part of any of the team, then you are actually eligible for the certification, right? So that is what is the requirement here. Then you formally need to agree with the formal code of ethics. As I told you, ISC Square has some ethics. We need to adhere to those. And if in case you are having 4 years of experience, does not have full 5 years of experience and want a viewer, then that provision is also available. If you have a full-time 4 years degree from a recognized university or college, then definitely you are eligible for 1 year waiver on that, right? In case you are not having a 4 years degree, but you have some previous certification like CISSP, CISSP, CEH and all that, then also you can apply for a 1 year waiver. The entire list of the credential of those certifications is actually available on their website, ISC Square website, right? Now, once you have 5 years of experience, you pass your CISSP certification, then you need to go for an endorsement process. Now, what is that endorsement process? That endorsement process, you need to go on the ISC Square website. You need to go and fill up a application out there. In that case, you also need to reach out to a CISSP certified person who can endorse you. And also, you need to reach out to your supervisor who can actually, because his phone number is what you need to provide in that application, right? So they can even cross verify in few cases, right? Now, once you do all that, then uh, then ISC Square release that certification for you. They designate you with the CISSP credential. Now, once you hold that credential, it is not that it is a one-time thing. Then you need to maintain that. You need to maintain that certification. How do you maintain it? You have to pay annual maintenance fees of $125 per year. That is one thing. And also you need to give proof to ISC Square that you are continuously reading, continuously studying on security and enhancing your own understanding on that. So that is what is called as continuous professional education. So every year you need to register your 40 points out there. How do we earn that? For example, you are part of this training. So after this training, how many hours I am teaching you, those hours you can show into the credential, right? For example, we go for 40 hours. Those 40 hours is enough. You can go and submit that as a proof on the ISC Square website, right? So that is one thing. And over a year of 3 years, if you are able to maintain your annual maintenance fees and your CPE credits, then in 3 years you will accumulate 120 CPEs. Once you do that, then your certification will be automatically renewed. You don't need to go again for the certification anytime in your lifetime if you maintain your certification, right? And obviously nobody will ever want to go for it again and again, right? Because there is money involved, there is effort involved. So that's the thing, right? So CPs also, there are two kinds of CPs. One is group A, one is group B. Group A is where you are actually making progress into the information security domain. Group B CPEs are those which are out of security domain. Just like, for example, you attend some English speaking classes. If they give you some kind of certification, you can show it here. And likewise, if you go for PMP certification, you can endorse them there. So that is how it goes. So guys, this is purely for those people who are actually having the 5 years of required experience. Now, in case you do not have the 5 years of experience, then what is the path, right? Guys, you also can attend the CISSP certification exam, and after the exam you need to fill up a application, and after that application you will be awarded with the designation of associate of ISC Square, right? And that also means a lot. It is not that it doesn't have any value in the market. It has a great value in the market, right? Other thing, if you have that experience, like if you pass that certification, you got ISC Square membership, then the next is you need to keep on registering your experience onto their portal. So they give you 6 years of time to prove your 5 years of experience in security, right? So once your 5 years are completed, they will send you the CISSP certificate for you, right? So all the same, end of the day, right? And then the annual maintenance fees for associate members as well, it is US $50. In case of certified people, it is $125. For associates, it is $50. And on a continuously year to year basis, you need to prove that you have acquired some understanding on security. So you need to go with 15 CPs every year. Okay, once you are able to do that, you are able to endorse your experience, to ISC Square, they are going to send you a CISSP certification once your required 5 years of experience is done. Okay. Then let's come to the bottom line here. How do we achieve CISSP certification? So the biggest hindrance is the exam, right? Let's try to understand this exam. So guys, when I did my CISSP back in 2016, this was 6 hours exam and a linear exam. 6 hours linear exam. That is so much exhaustive, right? So that was the reason why many people were not actually going for CISSP certification. So what they did, they actually they cut it short by half the time. Now the CISSP certification is only 3 hours, right? But at the same time, guys, they have not you can say they have not given any relaxation when it comes to the difficulty level of the exam. So they have implemented a algorithm which actually runs beneath your question paper, and that algorithm will be gauging your own understanding on every domain, and based on your current question, your next question will be coming to you, right? But you don't need to worry about it. You just think, I am plainly preparing for CISSP and 3 hours exam is what I am going to attend, right? Number of questions will be ranging from 100 to 150. Now why ranging? Every exam has a fixed quantity of numbers, quantity of questions, right? Why CISSP has this as a variable element? So this variable element comes from the underlying algorithm which I just discussed with you. If you are answering most of the question as right, then you need to attend less questions. If you are not actually answering all the questions very perfectly, there are lot many wrong questions as well, then your number of questions may increase, and maximum up to 150 questions. So that is how the entire thing is laid down. Questions will be in the form of multiple choice most of the time. Few of them may also be drag and drop, or sometimes kind of match the column kind of thing, right? So these are the 3 patterns on basis of which you may have some questions. Passing percentage is 70%, and once you pass your examination, you will be shown as congratulations screen, and that is all. You cleared your CISSP. In case you are falling short, then they give you some details. Okay, you need to work on this domain. These are the numbers what you scored, and you need to really work on that. So they give that kind of insight as well. Okay. Testing center is, you cannot go to any center and go and give the exam. There are some very specific centers, like here in Bangalore, there are 2 centers. In Delhi, we have 2 centers. So these are specific Pearson VUE centers from where you need to go and attend these exams, right? At present, because of COVID-19, the exams are on hold, but they are going to resume very shortly as and when some relaxation comes in. Okay. So that is about the exam part. Next is how much actually we need to spend from our pocket. So the exam fees is $699. This is a one time does not mean that one time you pay and then you appear multiple times in the exam. No, every attempt you have to appear. Every time you need to pay $699 to them, right? In case you feel you are not prepared, you need some more time, then you need to reschedule your exam, and that will cost you $50. In some cases, you entirely decide, okay, this is not the right time to take this exam, let me cancel it as of now. Then it will be costing you $100, and rest of the money will be refunded back to you. Now, little bit about the computerized adaptive testing. So guys, as I told you, when I cleared my CISSP certification, it was kind of non-adaptive test. It was a kind of linear test, and it was 6 hours of exam, right? Now they have come in with some kind of algorithm which works in the backend. So for example, you can see this flat line, right? This is where you attempt most of the questions, and a substantial amount of that is wrong. So every wrong question you answer, you have to go for some extra mile. You need to answer some few more questions. Okay, that is how it's going to be. So a flat linear approach, like if it goes for you, then the maximum number of questions you may have is 150. If you are answering everything correctly, most of your answers are correct, then you need to have the less number of questions in the exam. So you may even pass your exam after 100 questions as well. Okay, so that is how it comes in. More details about the CAT you can obtain from the ISC Square website. Now coming on to the 8 domains and coming on to the weightage, the most important part. Now every domain is important for you guys, because if you see this weightage for all the domain, it actually ranges from 10% to 15%. Also, you will find when you will be preparing for it, some domains are really small and they give you like almost the same kind of percentage weightage, right? And some domains are huge, so huge that it will take a lot of time for you to complete them, and they also contribute less at the same time, right, in the exam. So first and foremost rule is you do not have to skip any domain, because skipping is not going to help you out. Second thing, what you need to do is, you if some domain is very exhaustive, you are getting overwhelmed, do not worry, just go take it easy policy. That is the only thing which is going to help you for CISSP preparation. As and when things going too tough, do not disengage yourself from your preparation, instead just take it easy. So that is the key to CISSP preparation. Okay, and as all the domains are almost ranging in the equal weightage, you need to go through all of them. You cannot miss out any of them. Now once you pass your CISSP certification, you need to go for an endorsement process. So the endorsement process is purely online. You can complete this endorsement process within 9 months of passing your CISSP. People even don't wait for 9 days, I tell you. Okay, so very simple application they have. You have to just fill in. You need to provide your supervisor number. You need to have some proofs ready with you. You need to reach out to a ISC Square certified person, and then he endorse you, right? Once he endorses you, then your application will go with ISC Square. They will validate it, and maybe from 6 to 8 weeks your certification will be handed over to you, and then you are certified. You can proudly say, I am CISSP certified. Okay, so application must be endorsed and digitally signed by ISC Square certified guy. That is all I told you. Few of the applications are actually undergoing the audit process. It may be like 5 to 10% of applications. So if your application falls under some kind of audit, you will be informed on email that you are under audit, and these are the documents which you need to provide them. You just need to scan those documents and send to them, and it is super easy kind of thing, nothing to worry about it. Okay, now the real thing. Now you understood about CISSP. Let us have a discussion on how to plan. So to plan, to start preparing for CISSP, it is very important that you plan it first. If you fail to plan, you actually fail. So to plan it, you need to work out, okay, these are the 4 or these are the 5 months I am going to actually clear my CISSP certification. This is the domain number 1. I am going to complete it within 20 days. And these are the pages numbers I am going to complete within this week, or this is within this fortnight. So those kind of targets, realistic targets, you must have, and then you must stick with it. Otherwise guys, why CISSP is so many people are not certified in CISSP? Because people do not have a specific plan. They start preparing for it, but on the midway they lose their track and things goes in a different direction. Okay, how much time is actually required for preparation? I would say you should give, if you have some experience in security, then you should give around uh, 4 months to 5 months as the preparation time. I think that is more than sufficient. Even my training goes on for 3 months for a particular batch. So 3 months itself, you are reading, you are taking training from me, you are taking guidance from me, everything is available. So it goes hand to hand, your preparation and training goes hand to hand. So that is a very plus point. Then how to prepare? You need to understand first and foremost what perspective you need to have, because if you have a technical perspective, you will be stuck up with technical topics and you will go and dive deep into those. That is not going to help you guys. Let me be very clear. Those people who are purely non-technical, they don't have any technical understanding, they also need to spend little time on understanding the concept. We are not saying that you go and dive into it. Just understand the topic from a very high level. Try to understand what is this technology, how it relates to security, what good and bad things about it, is it cost effective or not cost effective. So if you understand those perspectives, that is more than sufficient for CISSP, right? Now, which study material to refer? I see a lot of books in the market, actually. I can count you around 20 books as of now. But I would recommend, if you have CBK as the first part, you can go for it. CBK is the most authentic source. But at the same time, guys, the scripting is not that comfortable for you. That is where, like, you read a entire page and end of that page you are not able to conclude things, then it is not going to help you, right? Then there is another source called as Cybex version 8, which I strongly recommend to all of my participants. They should go for Cybex version 8 because the language is very easy and it is highly understandable as well. Okay, then few people, they prefer to go for Son Harris. They can go for it, but at the same time, I must say, uh, the recommendation from my side is you should go with Cybex version 8, and as and when you have some doubt, you can hope on to Sean Harris and then understand it and then come back. So do not go for multiple books. Please do not go for multiple books, because these are written by different authors. I must tell you, nobody is 100% perfect in security, including me. Nobody is 100% perfect. So people write with their own understanding, with their own perspective. So one particular topic explained in a different way in a book, in another book it may be described in a different way. Sometimes this will lead you to a lot of confusion. So I strongly recommend, go only with one book. That is more than sufficient. And I would highly recommend you go for Cybex version 8. Right? Then, next question, which every time I used to get from people is, dumps, are they going to help us? I would say yes, it is going to help us to cross verify our knowledge, but please refer only those dumps which are of real value. Otherwise, there are a lot of dumps in the market which are like logicless. People have just made some questions and based on that they are selling it. Do not go for each and every dump. Have some authentic dump which is really having some good quality, then only refer those dumps. Okay, another thing, these dumps are not going to be repeated. Not even a single question will be repeated in the exam from any of the dump, unlike some other certifications, right? It will never ever happen. Most of the questions which are coming in CISSP are scenario based. So they will put you in some kind of scenario, they will roam you from one domain to another, and then finally they will ask you a very small basic question. That is where the reading of the question is what the most important part. Reading is what the main thing, because even if you go through this training, you go through CISSP books 3 to 4 times, sometimes you may not even able to get certified. Why? Because People first and foremost refer too many dumps. They waste their time in so many of dumps, finally delivering no value to them. CISSP certification is purely concept based and purely based on your common sense. So your common sense only you have to apply. Do not overwhelm yourself with too much stuff. There is a lot of hype when it comes to CISSP. People have shown this as this is the toughest certification in security. I tell you guys, nothing like it. If you have the right perspective, it is at all not tough. It is very simple. It is that people are making it tough by those discussions and those kind of things, right? It is simple. Only thing is you need to be more focused on concepts, and then based on those concepts, if you are logical, if you are able to apply your common sense, definitely you will be able to crack it. When to register for exam? I would say once you are done with your 4 to 5 domains, then go ahead and book your exam. Do not book it now. Many people say first book it and then start preparing. This may be a unnecessary wastage of money in my perspective. So if you are reaching to domain 4 and 5, that means you have the right zeal to do your CISSP. Those people who don't have the zeal, they will get knocked out in the first and second domain by itself, right? So if you are able to persist yourself up to that time, that means it is your cup of tea, and then you must go for it. It is the right thing for you, right? So that is how it should be. Training options, guys. We have a lot of trainings available in the market. You can go with ISC Square official trainings, which you can find on their website. They host online self-paced, online instructor based, and they also give classroom based. So that is what they have their official training. But the problem there is, at least for we Indians, it is very costly because they talk in terms of dollars. It is really costly for them. So that is one limitation out there. Another thing is you can go and search on internet. You can you can search out for trainings. People give training from 32 hours to 48 hours. They may range from 4 days, 5 days, or 6 days. Most of these trainings are 40 hours of training, and there is no study material which is provided. There is no session on exam questions to prepare you for that. The price is nearly costing from 30 to 60K, depends on different organization based on their business, right? So that is one option you can adopt with. You can also adopt my option, wherein I go and deliver those trainings. I would not call it as a training. I would call it as a preparation exam. So my my way of teaching is different. It is not that professional. It is not like saying few words and then skipping that slide. We have a dedicated discussion on each and every slide. So that is one thing. This training, whatever I provide, will go on for 3 months. So these 3 months, you can go and parallelly read your books. Whatever help required, you can always come back to me. There will be a WhatsApp group on which we will keep on posting questions. We will have a lot of discussions on that. So that is actually making you, there will be a group which will be there, and it will be an exponential learning which we can actually drive from there. The training hours, I would say at least it will go for 70 hours, 72 hours. Because the thing is, our training is not limited in terms of hours. Because I'm not paying to some third party to conduct these trainings. These trainings are of my own. So we can go to any extent until we are fully completed all the topics. We are not limited in terms of discussions. There's a lot of discussion which actually happens in my session. So all those things are there, right? Then once you you subscribe with my training, you can also be part of my trainings going forward as well, until unless you are getting CISSP certified for maybe like next 6 to 7 months. Whichever training I am delivering, as and when, you can just ask me and be a member of it. There is no costing involved thereafter. Okay. Classroom training also I conduct in Bangalore. They are often 5 days because we are limited and we have to spend more on training faculty and like facility and all that. So that is a 5 days affair. Online training goes for 3 months. So it is only on weekends and for 3 months. So you will get the entire week to go through some content, to go through that pages, and then you can discuss with me in the next session. Okay. And also, as and when you have doubts or anything, you can just post me on the group. I'm always answering those. Then we have some free customized study material which we will be supplying you as the training goes on. So all that, you don't need to spend much money when it comes to study material. Everything is free. Dedicated time to practice tricky questions. Like in my ongoing batches, I give half an hour every day, like every session, on some tricky questions. So oftentimes it goes even for 1 hour as well. So that is there. I don't give any kind of guarantee that you will be 100% or 99% passing this exam. You can, for that thing, you can just simply search on Google. People will say they give you 99% guarantee of passing your CISSP exam. Let me be very truthful. There is nobody who can give guarantee. It is purely up to you. I can give you the best of guidance. I can give you the best of learning, but end of the day, you need to be persistent about your preparation, right? And one thing more, guys, CISSP is not rocket science. It's not for them who are really expert in security. No, it is also for those who are very basic to security, who don't even understand security well. It is also for those, right? So one way, the difficulty level is not that great. What matters is the spread of CISSP. The content is so much. You have to understand each and everything in security, right? Nothing is left out in security. So once you go through this training, once you go through those books, then you will be having your own understanding, your own view on each and every topic, whoever discussed about security. So you will be a master of security, I would say, right? And recently, I think I was going through a WhatsApp uh, this thing link, and when I followed it, the European Union has already endorsed CISSP as the master degree. So they are, if somebody is CISSP certified, they consider him as master degree for them, right? So that is the, you can see the scope of CISSP actually. So guys, what we get out of it after doing so much of effort, after going so much of thrill, all those persistent days, this is the certification we are going to get. So the one more point I want to make up why I have put two pictures here. On the left hand side, you can see this, I got certified in 2016. In 2017 January, I was awarded with CISSP designation, right? I maintained my AMF, annual maintenance fees. I maintained my CPEs. After 3 years, it was automatically extended for another 3 years. Now I have license up to 28th of February 2023, right? So the bottom line here is, once you get certified with CISSP, you can maintain it throughout your life. And it is really worth to maintain it. It is really worth to spend $125 a year. Okay, so this is the reward, guys, you are going to get. With that, I am going to take a pause.